right, the very first card we're going to make is this one here with the blue whale. So the very first step is we're going to do the water background. So I've got 4 different colors here that I'm going to be using. I'm going to use my blending brush, starting from the lightest color at the top. This is Speckled Egg. It's a super light color. And if you press harder, that's what you're going to get. The like I said, the Speckled Egg is a really light color, and we're actually going to emboss that water over top of it once we're done our background here. Now I'm going in circles to get the color on the background, but then I'm also going across because I want to get some kind of streaky lines there for the water. Got some broken china, a little bit darker. I want to give the illusion that it's going from, say, up where the sun is to the depths of the ocean. So this brush I had used with some Oxide inks a few weeks ago, and then washed them out. And I find it just doesn't take ink nearly as well as it did before. So since then I've been using different brushes with my oxides and these ones with my dye inks. But it's interesting because I never expected to have that sort of reaction. I'm going to use the darker brush for the darkest color. So this dark color is the Uncharted Mariner. It's a brand new color that has just come out, and I love the dark tealy color of it. I want to get it nice and dark at the bottom there. And if you find that it's not dark enough in some areas, you can go back and add a little bit more just to darken, or yeah, darken it up. So I'm going to leave it like that. Now these inks have resins in them, so they do need to be heat set before I go and stamp and emboss the water on the top. If I were to do that now, the embossing powder would stick to the whole thing. So I just want to hit it with a heat gun to set those. Right, hopefully that was long enough. It's one of those things that easiest way to tell is to use a embossing buddy. Oh, there it is. I was going to say, but I can't find mine. I just did. So if you take an embossing buddy, it's got some powder in it, and rub it all over your card. If there's anything that embossing powder is going to stick to, that card or that embossing buddy will soak it up, and you won't have to worry about it anymore. So I've got my blue whale stamp, and it's got the little water piece right on there. So I'm going to stamp it with some Versamark. Make sure you put your stamp on your block the right way. I just put it on wrong accidentally. And if you have anything sticking to your stamp like I just did, make sure to take it off. All right, ink your stamp. And it's going to fit kind of within the edges of the stamp. Like, it's not going to go all the way across. If you want it to go all the way across, you could always stamp it twice. But what I ended up doing, instead of doing that, was I took my card piece and I just rubbed it along my embossing pad so that I have some ink there for the powder to stick to. And if there's not quite enough, after we've heated up, we could always add some more ink and thicken that up a little bit. If there's anything on there that the powder is sticking to that you don't want it to stick to, you can use a soft brush to remove that. So right here, there's a bit of a blob. So I want to get a little bit more of those lines back in there. So I'm just taking a brush and just lightly brushing it off. You have to do this before you melt it. Once you melt it, it's stuck to the paper and you're not going to be able to do this. And I'm going to use my same heat gun to melt it. There we go. Now I like the way that is, but if I wanted it to be, and I'm just going to do it just because instead of just talking about it, I might as well show it. If I want that white to be a little bit thicker, I'm just going to rub the ink on a little bit more and try to get it going down from the top a little bit more than I already had it. Just trying to get that white foamy water top look there. There we go. And then melt that. All right, so now we got the perfect background. I'll see you in the next video and we will do the whale.